Go ahead and introduce Dr. Laverne Denyer. She's been a friend and a member of our Tea Party for many years, a lot of years, clear back when we were the Sutter Beach Tea Party. And she's been most helpful in our setup and doing everything that we do. She's also on our board, and she spent a lot of time, from what I understand, preparing for this presentation tonight. And she's very diligent on doing her research and getting stuff. So what you hear tonight is the gospel. It really is. So, Laverne, I'm going to turn it over to you.
No, I'm not doing a song and dance play.
Let's go, Brandon.
No. Okay. As sort of a precursor, we've all seen many of the things that are happening out there that are communistic, socialistic, that are affecting us on an everyday basis. But not everyone has a clue as to what the background, as to why and how it's happening. And I was sitting at a Tea Party meeting one night, and suddenly I got given a challenge by the big guy, and he says, do this research, do a cross-reference on how these 5 areas have been attacking the United States Constitution, and then take it to the people. So I did his work, okay? So that's why this is here.
Those who surrender freedom for security will not have, nor do they deserve, either one. Benjamin Franklin.
Truer words? American freedoms are under attack. Our Constitution has been attacked severely, and our world has bought into it, and we have allowed it to be given away. Because they've got so much stuff, if there's room at the end, I'll take questions. But it's because I've cut this back as much as I could, and it's a lot. So there's lots of details. And if somebody really wants to take notes, there's 3 pads of paper and pen over there that you can take.
You want the lights down, Laverne?
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. Lights down. Thank you. So my question, you may think you know what's going on. How well do you understand what and why is really happening? That's what this is about. And again, be prepared, because there's a lot of detail in here. We've got flashing lights.
That's better.
Everything you know is a much larger story than you think it is. We've been attacked for a long time. So I'm going to give you some background before I get into the actual 5 documents plus the UN that have attacked our Constitution repeatedly. Crimes against humanity, you, are being executed right here, right now, in this town and every place else. Crimes against humanity. And this is a description, and the lovely gentleman over in the corner is the one who put it this way. And I think he's absolutely correct.
If I told you that a Marxist infiltration of every aspect of American life has been taking place, and that it's been underway for decades, would you believe me?
Absolutely.
You believe it. You're here. Everything is upside down. Our liberties are being eroded, erased, and replaced. This is what I'm talking about tonight. It's the same thing as our
We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
fundamentally transforming America. Who listened when he said that? I did. I knew what he meant. I tried to talk to a lot of people and say, are you listening to his words? And they said, no, that just means we're going to make society better. Baloney.
right.
Fundamentally transform America into a third world country. That is the plan. The plan is to make us slaves.
Yep.
Political language is designed to make lies sound truthful and murder respectable and give an appearance of solidity to pure wit. George Orwell, author.
He was so correct. There are video clips in here. A couple of them are a little long, but they were, especially the first one. They're so valuable and say so much that I want you to see the whole thing. It's worth your time. What about the deep state? What is it?
An illusion it will be, so large, so vast, it will escape their perception. Those who will see it will be thought of as insane. We will create separate fronts to prevent them from seeing the connection between us. We will behave as if we are not connected to keep the illusion alive. Our goal will be accomplished one drop at a time, so as to never bring suspicion upon ourselves. This will also prevent them from seeing the changes as they occur. We will always stand above the relative field of their experience, for we know the secrets of the absolute. We will work together, always, and will remain bound by blood and secrecy. Death will come to he who speaks.
Fire away.
We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak, while pretending to do the opposite. We will use our knowledge of science and technology in subtle ways so that they will never see what is happening. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators, and sedatives in food and water. Also, in the air, they will be blanketed in poison everywhere they turn. The soft metals will cause them to lose their minds. We will promise to find a cure from our many fronts. Yet we will feed them more poison. The poisons will be absorbed through their skin and mouths. They will destroy their minds and reproductive systems. From all this, their children will be born dead, and we will conceal this information. The poisons will be hidden in everything that surrounds them, in what they drink, eat, breathe, and wear. We must be ingenious in dispensing the poisons, for they can see far. We will teach them that the poisons are good, with fun images and musical tones. Those they look up to will help. We will enlist them to push our poisons. They will see our products being used in film and will grow accustomed to them and will never know their true effect. When they give birth, we will inject poisons into the blood of their children and convince them it is for their help. We will start early on, when their minds are young. We will target their children with what children love most, sweet things. When their teeth decay, we will fill them with metals that will kill their mind and steal their future. When their inability to learn has been affected, we will create medicine that will make them sicker and cause other diseases for which we will create yet more medicine. We will render them docile and weak before us by our power. They will grow depressed, slow, and obese. And when they come to us for help, we will give them more poison. We will focus their attention towards money and material goods so that the many never connect with their inner self. We will distract them with fornication, external pleasures, and games so that they may never be one with the oneness of it all. Their minds will belong to us, and they will do as we say. If they refuse, we shall find ways to implement mind-altering technology into their lives. We will use fear as our weapon. We will establish their governments and establish opposites within. We will own both sides. We will always hide our objective but carry out our plan. They will perform the labor for us, and we shall prosper from their toil. Our families will never mix with theirs. Our blood must be pure always, for it is the way. We will make them kill each other when it suits us. We will keep them separated from oneness by dogma and religion. We will control all aspects of their lives and tell them what to think and how. We will guide them kindly and let them think they are guiding themselves. We will foment animosity between them through our factions. When a light shall shine among them, we shall extinguish it by ridicule or death, whichever suits us best. But if they ever find out they are our equal, we shall perish then. This they must never know. If they ever find out that together they can vanquish us, they will take action. They must never, ever find out what we have done. For if they do, we shall have no place to run, for it will be easy to see who we are once the veil is fallen. Our actions will have revealed who we are, and they will hunt us down, and no person shall give us shelter. This is the secret covenant by which we shall live the rest of our present and future lives. For this reality will transcend many generations and lifespans. This covenant is sealed by blood. Our blood. We, the ones who from heaven to earth came. This covenant must never, ever be known to exist. It must never, ever be written or spoken of. For if it is, the consciousness it will spawn will release the fury of the Prime Creator upon us. And we shall be cast to the depths from whence we came, and remain there until the end of time, of infinity itself.
See why I wanted you to see this? It's long, it's the only really long one in the presentation, but it really tells a story of the evil and the potential redemption. That's our job. Are we pawns or are we free people? We get to choose every minute, every day, how we bring this about to regain our freedom, our unalienable rights of natural law. Venezuela, socialism.
Socialism is going to be a fair and just distribution of the wealth. But at the end of the day, what we got was fair and just distribution of poverty.
deciding between socialism or capitalism or free markets. There was rumblings of socialism amongst the Democrats, but people kind of blew it off.
A Medicare for all single payout system.
Socialism and the idea of it started to become mainstream.
I'm calling for universal free college.
Recognizing the duty of the federal government to create a Green New Deal.
When you start talking about socialism, it's regulation of virtually every aspect of every human life. That's an authoritarian government.
What's going on right now is an attempt at a socialist street revolution.
They use this idea as an excuse to overthrow the entire system.
If this country doesn't give us what we want, then we will burn down this system and replace it.
The people who are advocating for socialism are even moving towards a place where we'll wind up at communism if we're not careful.
Young people, what they're taught is this utopia ideal of socialism. They don't talk about how the average Venezuelan has lost 24 pounds due to starvation.
Never think this will not happen. We, Venezuelans, are warning the American people.
They're lying to people my age. My generation deserves the truth about what the impact of these policies are going to be.
Change America.
It's about the America that we are going to bring into this world.
So much to say, so much to think about. Venezuela, it's one of the templates for what they want for us. And we've been oblivious. We've been letting it happen. I say stop and let's make it different. Like a friend of mine said when she went into a very high-stress meeting, got my bulletproof bra on and a big target, so fire away. I'm not going away. Socialism, idealism, reality. Free college. Why do you think they want to have free college? What do you think?
Brainwashing.
So they can get into their brains even more.
Cicero, 106 BC to 43 BC. A nation can survive its fools and even the ambitious, but it cannot survive treason from within. An enemy at the gates is less formidable, for he is known and carries his banner openly. But the traitor moves amongst those within the gate freely, his sly whispers rushing through all the alleys, heard in the very halls of government itself. For the traitor appears not as his traitor. He speaks in accents familiar to his victims, and he wears their face and their arguments. He appeals to the baseness that lies deep in the hearts of all men. He rots the soul of the nation. He works secretly and unknown. In the night, to undermine the pillars of the city, he infects the body politic so that it can no longer resist. A murderer is less to fear. The traitor